pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Call a roll. Commissioner President White.
Present.
Commissioner Vice President Webb.
Present.
Commissioner Allen Jordan.
Present.
Commissioner Andrews. Commissioner Douglas.
Present.
Commissioner Dr. Harris.
Present.
Commissioner Hembry. Commissioner Hembry. Commissioner Johnson.
Present.
Commissioner Malone.
Present.
Also present this evening, we have Acting Superintendent Dr. Elizabeth Philippatos, Mr. Cameron E. Cox, Chief Financial Officer, Board Secretary, Chief Chris Payne, Chief of Information Technology, Chief Bashan L. Hill, Chief of Marketing Communication, Dr. Danielle Master Giovanni, Chief of Equity and School Improvement, Ms. Khalifa Shabazz, and we don't have any student commissioners present. Madam President, we do have a quorum. Welcome to the special meeting of the Plainfield Board of Education. Members hope that you'll find this meeting interesting and informative. We thank you for taking the time out to attend. Please be advised that this and all meetings of the board are open to the media and public, consistent with the Open Public Meetings Act, and that the advance notice required therein has been provided to the Courier News and tapped into on Thursday, March 5th, to be advertised on Friday, March 13th, and also provided to the Plainfield Public Schools District website, the Plainfield City Clerk, Police Department, and Plainfield Public Libraries for posting. Madam President.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody, for those of you here present with us in person and those of you with us remotely online, virtually. We welcome you to our special meeting tonight, March 17th, 2026. We sent a memorandum out to the public ahead of this meeting informing them that we are going to immediately go into executive session this evening. So at this time, I do not have President's remarks, and I will now entertain a motion to convene into executive session.
Motion to go into executive session.
Properly moved by Commissioner Vice President Webb and seconded by Commissioner Douglas that the board now adjourn into executive session. You've heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Motion carried.
Mr. Cox, our anticipated time for return is 8 p.m. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We just received another update from the board. They're requesting an additional 30 minutes. Good evening. The board has notified that they need an additional half an hour. Good evening, everyone. The board has notified us that they are requesting an additional 30 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to entertain a motion to resume public session.
Motion to resume public session?
Been properly moved by Commissioner Vice President Webb and seconded by Commissioner Dr. Harris that the board now resume this meeting in the public. You've heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed have the same right? Motion carried. Is there-
Thank you. I'll now entertain a motion to open public comment.
Motion to open public comment?
Okay. Been properly moved by Commissioner Vice President Webb and seconded by Commissioner Dr. Harris to now open public comment at this time. You've heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? There being none, all in favor? All opposed have the same right? Motion carried. I'll now read the disclosure. At business meetings, a 30-minute period will be provided for public comment following committee reports. During this time, members of the public may raise questions or express concerns related to all district matters. All members of the public will be asked to present their questions or comments before any response is given. A response is not required, nor will the board engage in back-and-forth dialogue with any member of the public. Response, if provided, may come from the board president, superintendent, or designee. Members of the public are encouraged to submit additional questions or comments to the superintendent or board leadership ahead of or following the respective meeting for a review and follow-up. Members of the public may address the board once per meeting for a maximum period of 3 minutes as measured by the clock. No extensions will be granted. This time is not transferable from one individual to another. Public comment is now open.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. Welcome again to our special meeting for this evening, March 17th, 2026. We will now entertain our community members here in the public with us, present and in person, and then we will go to members of the public that are on virtually, Nick. So if there is somebody who wishes to come to the podium to speak now for the public comment, then they can do so at this time. Yes.
Good evening. My name is Debbie Myers.
Good evening.
And first of all, I want to compliment you, board members. Good to see you back. To be able to sit in the seat, I sat here many years ago, 30-something years ago, and to be a governor and take on the responsibility of shaping children's life is exciting.
Thank you.
But along with that responsibility comes accountability. Okay? And accountability is to the community. And I understand executive session. But one thing, to have the community sit out here like this, it's disrespectful. To have your staff, who's been here since 8 o'clock this morning, to stand like this, it's disrespectful. And I know as governors that you did not get elected to disrespect the public. There's some tough decisions you guys have to make. I think at the last board meeting I've been to, it was when Gallon was superintendent of schools. And I indicated at that time, some people gonna go to jail. And some people did go to jail when Gallon was here, him and his ladies. Being educators and being a former board president, I understand you gotta make some decisions. But my mentor always told me make decisions from the eyes of the student. And that was Dr. Ronald Lewis, one of the best superintendents we ever had in Plainfield. So I implore you, okay? I don't know all the issues, okay? But collaboratively, y'all was working together. What happened? What happened? I see the celebration, and y'all should be honored, and y'all should be happy and celebrating all the success that y'all are doing together. The superintendent is only as good as his board, and his board is only as good as the superintendent. It's the superintendent's responsibility to educate you so you can put the policy and procedures in place to what? Make the district grow. And then obviously you guys have been doing that. What happened? That's what the community want to know. What happened that you got a gentleman making almost $250,000 sitting at home? And we have a budget. Is that fiscally prudent? For whatever reason. Is it fiscally prudent? So I would employ one of the individuals that went to recommend he get suspended. You know, I know about executive session when you go back there, everybody vote and everything like that, and you just come out here and do it, okay? I know that you already made your decision, so just as disingenuous, I hope it's not. I hope you're taking everybody here seriously, because people waited for you, because we want to talk to you. And all I'm saying to you is that you have a responsibility, and just like you got elected by 1,000 votes, you might have people that want to recall you, because you don't have their best interests at heart, okay? Put that energy for children. Put that energy in making this the best school district in the world.
Mrs.
Making
Myers,
you the
that is
best
your time.
governors in the world.
Thank you,
So I
Mrs.
implore
Myers.
you-
That is your time. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
We'll have the next person up to the podium. Do we have another member of the public in person that would like to come to the podium?
Good evening, Commissioners of the Board of Education. I want to begin by asking the rhetorical question of, how's your investigation going? Have you made any progress resolving the issue of the reporting of a vehicle accident? All of the participants are known to your investigator, along with all tape recordings from all security cameras at the location. All security personnel on duty that evening in question are known and recorded. All court documents of the accident are readily available. The owner of the other vehicle is known and appeared in court and is on record. So what's the holdup? Let me tell you what I think the holdup is. First is the lawyer assigned to the investigation. His firm has to rack up billable hours. So that means hiring an investigator to do all the legwork, gather all the film, conduct interviews, gather all the paperwork associated with this farce. All of that takes time, say 2-3 months. But who's counting? The law firm is counting, and the Board of Education is funding this travesty of justice. I worked in law enforcement for 30 years with experience in every aspect of law enforcement, commanding 3 of the 5 bureaus in Plainfield Police Division at the time. I've overseen many investigations, and if any of those investigators under my command took this long for an open and shut case of a simple motor vehicle accident, they would have been released of their role and reassigned, transferred out of their investigative responsibility. The other reason I think for holdup in resolving this simple matter is some internal politics among you board members with some possible external influences. Even Stevie Wonder can see this. So let's cut to the chase, as the expression goes. Some of you want Dr. Rashawn Hassan out, but you don't quite know how to go about it until this situation occurred. Thus, the delay in your investigation. You're looking for a way to release him from his contract with the least amount of financial damage to the Board of Education and thus to the taxpayers of Plainfield, and to save your personal reputations. After all, you are all elected commissioners and enjoying the perks of that position. You see, I've been in this movie before. I've seen this movie before, orchestrated by a former member of the Plainfield City Council years ago. And when she finally was called to account, there was no investigation conducted. The entire city council had to apologize in public and on record, with the exception of the one that started the investigation. She had too much pride to acknowledge her wrongdoing. So I implore you all to come to your senses by doing what's right, honorable, and just, by reinstating Dr. Hassan back to active duty, acknowledging that he received more than just discipline, quote unquote, for the minor infraction of so-called not reporting the accident to the Board of Education, which is still in
Ms. Alameen, that is your time.
Thank you for your comment. Here we have someone else who'd like to come to the podium.
Good evening, President, board members, and Plainfield community. I am Carmen Cedar Pyle, a former school board member. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I served on this Board of Education for 6 years. During that time, this district went through 7 superintendents. That level of instability is not normal. Every time leadership changes, students, staff, and families are the ones who absorb the disruption. That history is why I am here tonight. When Rashawn Hassan was appointed superintendent, he brought something this district desperately needed: stability, urgency, and accountability. From day one, he addressed problems that had been neglected. A clear example is transportation. What was once chaotic and failing was brought under control quickly. That didn't happen by chance. I encourage anyone who questions that progress to speak directly with members of the Transportation Department, many of whom are here tonight, because they live that reality every day. I'm speaking tonight not to claim that any superintendent is perfect. That is not the standard. The standard is whether the district is being led competently, responsibly, and with the best interests of students at the center. I also want to share something personal, because leadership is tested in moments that don't appear on agendas. As a parent, I once reached out to Superintendent Rashawn Hassan with serious concerns about possible drug activity connected to my child's school. That same day, the school went into lockdown. A search was conducted and drugs were found. I firmly believe that decisive, immediate action protected our children and staff. That is what leadership looks like when student safety is treated as urgent. The role of the Board of Education is not to manage personalities or politics. It is not to run day-to-day operations. The role of the board is to ensure the district is run well, physically, ethically, and in the best interest of students, especially those who have no voice in this room. This district has suffered the consequences of constant turnover. Education is the foundation of progress. If leadership is disrupted again, it will not be the board members who carry that burden. It will be the students and staff. If a change is made tonight, then let the record reflect this clearly. Many in this community stand with Superintendent Rashawn Hassan, and we recognize the value of steady, student-centered leadership in a district that has endured too much disruption. Please, I beg of you, to proceed with care and fairness. The decisions made tonight will echo far beyond this room. Thank you for
Mrs. Powell, that is your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Hey, Gazelle Cathcart Jr.,
Good evening.
Commissioner, and all, everyone, how y'all doing today? I'm just going to say, you know, we all sat, a lot of us that's here sat in that seat, so I understand 100%. There's going to be things that we don't know that you guys have information that we won't know. But I'm going to go by what I do know and what I've been hearing. And what I'm hearing and seeing and is that the issue out hand, it don't really outweighs what's going on. Like I said, I don't know what's anything else, but I never seen a community, a school district, workers support a superintendent the way they support this brother. I don't know what it is. I've been listening. I've been talking lately. I stay away. I always just respect. I respect the mayor, the board members, whoever, because y'all who runs our district. So I'm going to support no matter who's in that seat, because that's just the way I am. But when I'm looking at what is going on and I'm hearing about this brother, about this superintendent, and how just the staff is supporting this man. And very seldom you hear that the staff behind this superintendent. And so something's going on that's making this superintendent move our district in the right direction. He made a mistake, maybe yes or no, I don't know. But is it worth getting rid of him? We all make mistakes. And don't be ready to throw someone away because they made a mistake. All right? We'll learn, and he will learn if he did make a mistake. He will learn from that mistake. I think he's smart enough to learn from that mistake. So we should be able to work with him to say, hey, this is how it should have been, this is what you should have done, but we want to do what we have to do, but we want to keep you, and we want to move our district forward. So, you know, if you have a decision you're going to make, we're going to support you because, you know, we put you all in this position. But I'll pray to God that you really go into your heart. Don't let your ego get in the way. Look at yourself individually and go with your heart
and what the people are thinking and what they're saying, put that into the back of your head when you make the decisions. It's not too late to change your mind, and bring the brother in, have a seat with them, and talk to him. We don't have to do this. I very seldom I come in front of y'all about anything, but I talk to brother and I talk to people, and I think there's something special about him. I was the board president with the Dr. Gallant issue, so I know this, what y'all going through. I know it. You know what I mean? So I pray to God that we make the right decision for our district and our community and our kids. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
Good evening, Plainfield Board of Education and our community members.
Good evening.
I am here today because leadership matters and consistency matters. Even more, our superintendent has demonstrated commitment, vision, and an unwavering dedication to our students, our staff, and our community. Progress does not happen overnight, and meaningful change requires stability, trust, and time. We cannot afford to disrupt momentum when the work is not finished. Our students deserve leadership that understands their needs, and this community deserves accountability that has already been established. Reinstating our superintendent is not about looking backward. It's about protecting the future we have already begun to build. Let us be clear. Strong leadership is not disposable. It is developed, tested, and proven. And when we have it, you don't let it go. I urge you, the Plainfield Board of Education, to act with wisdom, with courage, and with commitment to continuity to reinstate our superintendent, Rashawn Hassan, and let the work that has been started continue. Whatever it was, this punishment does not fit the crime. Please reinstate our superintendent. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments.
Good evening, members of the board.
Good evening.
Good evening. I am Gail Hughes, Supervisor of Transportation. I'm here today to speak in favor of returning Superintendent Hassan and to clarify the narrative being circulated in the media. In my experience, he is a man of integrity and accountability, qualities that are not always easy to uphold, but are essential in effective leadership. He holds individuals accountable for their actions, whether it is comfortable or not. And that consistency earns respect. If you have ever had a personal matter become public, you understand how quickly details can be misrepresented or taken out of context. Unfortunately, that appears to be the case here. As the Supervisor of Transportation responsible for all district vehicles, I can state that Superintendent Hassan acted responsibly by immediately reporting the incident through the district's official Teams platform, ensuring transparency from the start. With that information, we were able to promptly move forward with the appropriate next steps. I have personally witnessed the positive impact he has had on this district. His leadership is focused, fair, and centered on what matters most, our students. For these reasons, I respectfully urge the board to return Superintendent Hassan to his position. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Hi, my name is Johanna Alzate. I am just a parent.
Could you say your name again, please? I'm sorry.
Johanna Alzate, Alzate.
Good evening.
I'm just here as a parent, and I did not want to speak tonight, but I'm speaking because I know there's people that were here earlier and ended up leaving. I know that there's parents online that had to disconnect because they had to put their kids to bed. I understand this is a process, but as a parent, I'm tired. I'm tired of being here. I'm not going to speak as eloquently as everyone else that's come before me, and I'm sure the people are going to speak after me. And I'm just speaking to you from the heart. Like, I'm tired. Can we resolve this at some point? I have spoken at these meetings before, and again, I'll voice my support of Superintendent Hassan. But at this point, we're tired. My parents are tired. It's 10 o'clock on Tuesday night. Tomorrow's a school day. That's it.
Hello, good evening. My name is Azim Hassan Gray. I was a former board commissioner. I served in your roles, served in your seats, and understand how difficult the task is of holding the superintendent accountable. But you did do that. As recent as July 2025, you rendered an evaluation of the superintendent, which was proficient. It was all goals that he presented were achieved. I'm not understanding what happened. What happened? The individual was moving our public school district forward. What happened? All right, so I want to emphasize an important thing. I want to remind that the board of its obligations under the New Jersey School Board Member Code of Ethics. Board members are required to uphold and enforce all laws, rules, and regulations of the New Jersey Board of Education and to ensure that decisions are made in the best interest of the students and the district. Your primary responsibility is governance, setting policy, ensuring fiscal oversight. I need you to pick your head up, Mr. Cox. And evaluating the chief school administrator based on facts, performance, and the district's progress. The board already conducted the evaluation and provided the superintendent with an overwhelmingly positive review. I want to briefly remind the board about qualified immunity, okay? Board members are generally protected when acting in the best interest within their lawful duties and in good faith. However, those protections can be lost if actions are taken outside the law in bad faith or if decisions knowingly ignore established facts or procedures. You may not be a millionaire, board members, but you can still be sued like one. I respectfully urge the board to make smart, responsible decisions that reflect your own evaluation, your legal duties, and your obligation to students and taxpayers. And I want to add one other thing. When I was a board commissioner and I was basically trying to rule in the best interest of my child, I had Hane Wyatt, her godmom, threatening me outside of the executive session. You all are running a racketeering operation here, okay? Another thing I wanted to add. Payroll fraud is a federal offense, sir. Payroll fraud is a federal offense. And right now it's in the Union County Prosecutor's Office. Good luck. Maybe you'll learn some values when you convert to Islam in prison.
Go ahead and clap that. Jesus be offense. Next person for public comment. Nick, do we have anybody online? Cue them up, please. Ms. Miranda Brown, you have the floor. Go to the next person, please. We can cue her back up when she's ready. Sarah Virgo, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening. You have heard, oh, I'm sorry, there's a little bit of an echo. Are you hearing me okay?
We hear you.
Okay. Down, just, okay. So you have heard from several people in the last few weeks who have spoken in support of Mr. Hassan, and I want to also echo those statements. I am incredibly proud to be a Plainfield Public Schools parent, and I love the city deeply. I have confidence in the education that my children receive, not only because of our outstanding teachers and staff, but because of the care, leadership, and attention that Mr. Hassan has consistently shown to our schools and our students. So rather than repeat that praise, I want to focus on a few areas of serious concern. The increasing lack of transparency and the chaotic nature of recent meetings have made it difficult for the public to follow and really trust the process. We have policies in place to investigate allegations and issues, so I'm not referring to matters that you are legally unable to discuss. I am referring to the stark inconsistencies between what has been presented in prior meetings and what has been shared recently. Those inconsistencies led me to file an Oprah request, and in reviewing more than about 700 or so documents, it is really clear that the public is not being provided with an accurate picture, particularly regarding issues like lead remediation and the current state of our budget. Our 2025 audit raises serious concerns, and I think it's important to frame those correctly. They point to systemic issues in financial oversight, internal controls. We had nearly $4.9 million in federal recovery funds that were recorded incorrectly, errors in the ESIB reporting, mistakes that reduced our capital reserve by over $5.3 million, unapproved purchase orders, delayed financial reporting. However, the documentation that I received, especially the email exchanges, shows that when these issues were brought to Mr. Hassan's attention, he acted swiftly and appropriately to address them. And I think that distinction really matters. Finally, just on the topic of the superintendent's contract, I also just want to be clear to the public that when we're terminating a contract, that requires paying out that remainder. So right now, if we did this today, we'd be looking at paying out between approximately $675,000 and $880,000 before even considering inevitable wrongful termination litigation that we'd be presented with. We are in a deficit, and this is budget season, and as a taxpayer, I cannot support that level of unnecessary expenditure for a decision that appears overtly political and completely unjustified, especially given Mr. Hassan's stellar record within the district and throughout the state. I respect each of you, and I realize that this is a very difficult position to be in. I hope that you make the decision that best supports our students and our community. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Is Ms. Miranda Brown ready? Nick? Okay, you can go to the next person. We'll come back to her.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, we hear you. You have the floor.
Thanks so much. I am delighted that Sarah Virgo spoke before me because she's always so eloquent. I wanted to highlight that just as a layperson looking through old budgets, it did look like if you vote to terminate Mr. Hassan today, the district will be looking at paying out, as Sarah said, over $600,000 on the low end, and obviously there will be a lawsuit. There's been so much hearsay, there's been so much said that, you know, anybody in his position would obviously be seeking legal counsel, and the public should know that then we're on the hook for covering the defense of this board and whatever has and has not happened behind closed doors. And I think that that is something each board member should take very, very seriously. On top of that, you know, as you all know, I come to all the board meetings. I've certainly been critical of plenty of things. But I will say Mr. Hassan has always responded to my emails. He takes the time to talk to me. He walks me through questions. When I do not get a response from anybody else, he's always able to provide a timely and thoughtful response. And he and I have disagreed about plenty of things, but I still think he's an incredibly thoughtful person. I think he's incredibly motivated to get our kids up and running, and I think you can see that from the recent test results that you all published as a district. Our third graders are doing well. The younger students are benefiting from the hard work that the district has put in. Our younger students are showing that the curriculum decisions that we made as a result of the strategic plan are clearly working, and that's going to allow us to then support the students who need a little bit more support. If the students who are coming up are doing better, then that allows us to help those who are ahead of them in years maybe reach their goals as well. So I really do recommend and urge you all to reinstate Superintendent Hassan. I think he's the best person for this job, especially with all of the chaos going around at the national level. The last thing our district needs, with all of the possible disasters facing us, is more uncertainty and instability. Thank you.
Thank you. Nick, can you cue that last person up? Chris Moore, who?
Murahashi.
Okay, you have the floor.
Hello, good evening, board members. I want to take some time. I know we've talked about what drives student success and strong leadership and having a commitment to literacy and accountability. I also was at our last meeting and also made a comment then just about Superintendent Hassan's progress and all of his all of his successes up until this point, but I do want to take a moment to focus on what when leadership is unstable or left unresolved, it doesn't just impact operations, it impacts the classrooms, it impacts teachers, and ultimately it does impact our children. I don't know any of you personally. I don't know if any of your children are attending the schools that our children are attending. So I don't know if you all are taking this decision personally and truly putting yourself not only in our shoes, but putting into consideration what's happening to our children. Our children are the ones who feel this inconsistency. They're the ones who will lose momentum, and they're the ones that pay the price when adults cannot come together and provide that stability for them. So this decision, it has real consequences for our students sitting in our classrooms every day. And we have to remember that investing in our children also is an investment in ourselves. Maybe we're not thinking about the right now, but we should definitely be thinking about what's going to happen in the future. What we put into our community and what we invest in our children is what we can expect to have a return on in the future when it's our time for them to make decisions on the behalf of our community and what our future is going to look like. All voices do matter, but I must ask, are we centering the needs of our children in this decision? Are we actually considering their voices and what they would want for us to do and what decisions they are asking for us to make? Reinstating the superintendent is a step towards restoring stability, protecting progress, and ensuring that our students are not the ones that are bearing the costs of this uncertainty and chaotic moment. Please make the decision to reinstate Superintendent Hassan for the betterment of our children and for the betterment of ourselves and the future of Plainfield.
Thank you for your comment. Nick, we have one more person? Okay, all right. No, not at the moment. We're going to finish letting them go and see where we're at with the time.
Hello, I'm here.
Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you. Jocelyn Castro, 75 Everett Place, Plainfield, New Jersey, former board president, served from 2020 to 2023. I was actually the board president at the time when we hired Mr. Rashawn Hassan as our superintendent. Everybody on the board was excited because we knew Mr. Rashawn Hassan brought a lot of skills, and he brought something that can definitely help transform the school district. He has gotten nothing but stellar reviews since I was on the board. He was very involved in the strategic plan, which is something that the school district hasn't had in a very, very long time. Mr. Hassan has a vision. He's able to work with the community. He's able to build relationships with board members. And during my time on the board, the relationship was great. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm confused, as a lot of people are confused and have been very vocal. People are paying attention, Madam President, Mr. Cameron Cox. People are paying attention, and that's why everybody's out here tonight. We know people make mistakes. We have forgiven people who have made mistakes on this board, and we have given them a second chance. Mr. Rashawn has not been charged for doing any wrongdoing. Everything has been dismissed, if anything was there, not to talk about personal matters. But the community does not understand why a matter like this has been taking so long. You guys have been sitting on this for so long, and it has been costing the taxpayers money. Nobody's happy. So I urge you, I respectfully urge you to consider retaining Superintendent Rashawn Hassan in his current role as superintendent. You're hurting the kids. It has been a revolving door, and you don't want to be part of that story. So please, take this into serious consideration. Progress has been made. Keep it going. Thank you.
Madam President, while the most recent speaker was speaking, the 30-minute period did end.
We waited 2 hours for you. Get one more up there. We waited 2 hours. We waited 2 hours for you. Wait 3 more minutes.
Motion to extend public comment.
Motion to extend public comment for the next speaker.
There's a speaker online that was waiting.
Got one online and one in person.
So the speaker online, if there's going to be a motion to extend, we'll finish out the motion and see what happens. if there's a motion on the floor, you put the motion on the floor?
Okay,
please?
so I'd like to amend the motion. I'd like to amend the motion. I'd like to
The
extend.
motion
It's gotta
came
fail
from.
first.
Yeah.
It's gotta either be seconded or fail to be seconded. The motion fails for lack of a second. Is there another motion on the floor?
I'd like to make a motion to extend public comment for the person online and then for the one speaker in person.
A second.
Been properly moved by Commissioner Vice President Webb and seconded by Commissioner Allen Jordan to extend public comment for the person at the podium in person as well as the speaker online. You've heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Motion carried.
Thank you. Nick, may you please queue up Ms. Balch for her comments, please? Ms. Balch, you have the floor.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Catherine Balch, 1314 Highland Avenue in Plainfield. People before me have spoken very eloquently about reasons to reinstate Superintendent Hassan. And I basically had, the only thing I would like to add is I feel like he has done a superlative job in many areas. I too have disagreed with some of the things that he has done, but overall his performance has been very productive, has been very positive, and I think he's had a wonderful effect on the student learning and among all grades. I question this process of saying that, maintaining that he's, that you have to put him on leave, and he's, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious reason for it, especially since his evaluation was so highly rated. I just don't understand what the reason is for him being on leave. So I too would like to support your decisions to reinstate him. I think that that would be the best outcome for students, and I hope that that's what you decide. I also have a question about the way money is being spent in the district. The budget showed that there was hiring of several IT people, and from what I understand, there are several firings or letting go of people that should be very highly valued in our community, the literacy coaches and teachers. If literacy is not highly valued, I don't know what business we're in. If we're not teaching kids to how to read and write, because those are the skills they will need forever. And I think that the budget should reflect most expenditures in that direction. So thank you for listening, and I hope that I hope that you make the right decisions for the students. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. You have the floor.
My name is Thad Baltimore. I'm a Plainfield resident, and I'm here to support Superintendent Rashawn. I'm really hoping that you guys make the right decision to reinstate him. I represent Masjid-Allah in Plainfield, and I also am a spokesperson for the other Islamic centers in Plainfield. There's Al Basira on South Avenue. There's the Islamic Dawah Center on North Avenue, and of course, Masjid-Allah on Grant Avenue, of which I'm a member. And what we're going to do as a voting bloc is we're going to pass around the names of the 6 board members who decided to suspend this brother. And we're going to make sure everybody knows those names. And of course, that excludes the brothers, the guys who voted no. We have a list that we're keeping a track of, and we know who voted yes, and we know who voted no. And we're going to hold you guys accountable by making sure that you're not, you don't get our support as an Islamic community when it comes time for you to seek other positions within Plainfield or any other office. So that's what I'd like to emphasize and to remind you guys of. We're going to keep that list, and we're going to pass that list around to the Islamic community to hold you guys accountable for any bad decisions that you make in regards to Superintendent Rashawn. Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to close public comment?
Oh, motion to close public comment.
Second.
Been properly moved by Commissioner Vice President Webb and seconded by Commissioner Dr. Harris. The board closed public comment at this time. You heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed have the same right.
Motion to adjourn?
Do we have a second?
Been properly moved by Commissioner Vice President Webb and seconded by Commissioner Hembry to adjourn this meeting in the public. You heard the meeting, you heard the motion. Are you ready for the question? There being none, all in favor? All opposed have the same right. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned at 10:29 p.m.